So what did the stone say after it got to the bottom of the hill? That's how I roll. When were rock jokes funny? The Stone Age. Well guys, I know you can see what's in my hand. Don't worry, I'm gonna show it to you up close. But we are excited because we technically live on a rock, or the top layer is rock. But if you look around us, there's rocks everywhere here in Colorado, and some of these rocks are up to 100 million years old. But there is no special rock like the NSX Rock. So without further ado, let's check it out. So when I received the NSX Rock and I opened up that box, I was immediately impressed. The artist, Tom Woham, Mr. Woham did an incredible job. If you really look at the lines, you got to think about what he was painting on. He was painting on a rock. And it's really neat because, you're trying to capture, the body and some type of resemblance of a car in a rock. And I found it to be really neat. If you look at the rock a little closely, you could see where some of the parts are kind of shaded in, and it gives it like a different kind of a perspective and angle. Makes you feel like there actually is a shape more than a rock shape. So I have to be completely honest with you guys. I might have went a little overboard. So I decided that I would look up Mr. Woham and see if I could reach out to him. And so I tried a couple phone numbers. I know one of the guys on the NSX Facebook page, he actually gave me the idea originally. He's like, look, I think I found him. But when I started calling, I just kept on getting a dead phone, or this phone number has changed. And I just couldn't get a hold of anyone. So like about on my 8th try, the phone rang. And then a voice picked up, and you could hear that it was a voice of an elderly gentleman. And I said, hello, and I'm looking for Mr. Woham, and he says, this is me. So I was like, oh, my heart rate pumped up a few more beats, and I introduced myself. And of course, I was technically a cold caller, so he was a little bit shocked and confused. But I told him that I picked up one of his NSX rocks and I had a couple of questions for him. And he was nice enough to answer a few of them. And he did paint this rock. And he actually painted over 100 of these type of river rocks. So I asked him a couple of questions about the process. And he told me that it took him about an hour to paint each rock. But the hardest part was finding the right rock. And I didn't think about that until he said that, because you have to find a rock with the right shape and kind of without it being messed up, the right size. So he would just go out and look for these river rocks, and that took him some time. And he says he just enjoyed them, and he enjoyed painting them, and that he sold them for $15 when he originally sold them for. So I told him, of course, how much I paid, that the bidding went up to $300, and he chuckled, he laughed. And I told him that the NSX community got a kick out of it. But then while he was talking, I was paying attention. But then when he said there was about 100 of them out there, I was immediately like, uh-oh. But I told him that how much I liked him, and he said that he's 96 years old and he doesn't do that anymore, but he remembers doing them. And I also told him that I saw some of his cartoons, and we talked briefly about just essentially the NSX and how much I like the car. And then after that, he had to go, so he just he hung up, and that was it. Well guys, thanks for watching this video. It was a lot of fun sharing with you when it was bidding, and it was a lot of fun, the anticipation. But it's small things like this that make life really exciting, because I love my NSX, and this is gonna go in the bookshelf, and now it has a story. Well guys, you take care, and we will see you soon.